Yo, what's up, Z Squad? It's your boy ZW back with another video talking about the coronavirus. So if you are just now tuning in and you would like to know more about the coronavirus, please hit those thumbs up, make sure you subscribe and check the notifications and stuff like that so you can keep getting update from, I'm probably just gonna consider this like my news, okay? So the news that I get from online, doing not just the surface online, I'm going down to the nitty gritty on this one. So let's get back into it, okay? And no, it's not starting off with Donald Trump. All right, this is legitly, I've been doing another couple of hours of research regards to the coronavirus. Just to let you know, they're saying that, you know, oh, it's not an airborne, it's when people cough or people sneeze within 6 feet in front of you or spread out within you, that you can catch it. But what they didn't tell you, because they really don't know, so digging a little bit more further, actually, they said, think about it for a second. They said that they don't know where it's coming from, and it's one of the fastest spreading coronaviruses there is, okay? And what I mean, you heard me right, there is, because there's like 4 to 5 other coronaviruses. Corona in name is actually a Greek name, and they named that because it means crown. So that means crown means that there's more of them. So regards to the coronavirus, the COVID-19, that's why it's specific 19. So the coronavirus actually originated back in 1960, I believe. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I'm getting my facts right for you guys. Blah, 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 blah. Back in BC. Worship companies, 1674. 19th century, basically 1996, okay? That's basically, or 1960 when it first came out with the coronaviruses. And all the viruses so far that I've seen all came from China. So the virus, I believe, because they're not for sure, but for how fast it's spreading, like I said in the last video before doing research, and now I'm actually a little bit more convinced in myself that it is actually airborne. You heard me right. It's actually an airborne virus, as well as people touching each other, like if you're sneezing and stuff, if it's left on a surface, doorknobs and stuff like that, that all can have it sitting there. So basically, if you think of it, is when people sneeze, that gets in your mouth, you're breathing that stuff in. When it's airborne, the droplets of the airborne can actually sit and stay in the air because it's so small for some time and actually there. So when you're not even in contact with anybody and you're walking by it, you can breathe that stuff in, like dust and stuff in the air. You breathe that stuff in. Then it could take up to 14 days to even realize you have symptoms. So when people are getting sick and people are getting from this coronavirus, the COVID-19, actually you're breathing this stuff in, it's attacking your organs. The news, I haven't been really watching, to be honest, too much of the news about it. I just been mostly reading about it, specifically through doctors and everything. Again, I'm not a doctor, but it's getting into your organs and it's starting to do kidney failure and things like that. So a lot of people start to get their body actually shut down specifically because of this virus itself. So it could come from chickens, it could come from any type of animal. They don't know how it's spreading so fast. The only thing I can think of is it airborne. Like, I don't think you really need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. So mark my words, right now, today is, what is that, March 15th. Probably in another couple weeks or a couple months or maybe a year, they're gonna be like, hey, you know what? Is it airborne? That's the only reason how things travel fast is through the air. Right? So I don't believe that we would have had this whole place completely spread out like this without it being airborne. So when you listen to the news talking about, oh, there's 3,000 or 4,000 confirmed cases, there's 10,000 confirmed cases, they're a lie. It's a lie. There's technically 162,687 confirmed cases of the COVID-19. And there's 6,065 people who died from this, as well as there's 75,620 people who had it and now it's gone. So you're talking about 99,000 people still have this COVID-19. South Korea, let's get some numbers in here. So South Korea, 8,162. You got Spain, 7,798. You have Germany, 5,426. France, 4,511. USA, we're the lowest at, or not quite the lowest, but one of the lowest at 3,244 USA. And Switzerland, 2,200. And Norway, 1,207. Who's the top? For some rocket scientists, you're catching on. 81,003 so far. That's in China. Italy, 21,157. So they're saying that this stuff comes possibly from seafood. More research, which is they probably haven't announced this on news yet because they don't know, so they can give you fake news, or this is news to information, or this is stuff that they keep it from the public. The first person was in was it mainland China or some part of China that actually got the virus, wasn't eating seafood at all. So we thought it comes from the seafood. That's where we thought it comes from. It's from the sea, from the food from bats or something. So the guy who said that, who didn't eat it, or who caught it first, was not around seafood or any one of those markets, but he was in China. Sorry, I keep forgetting what part of China that is because I really don't care. Give me 1 second. Yeah, he was in a part of China. Another one is the SARS, SARS virus, which is very, very similar to the coronavirus or the COVID-19 virus. They're pretty much one of the same viruses. That was back in 2003. That happened again. That was in China, which was spread. That was spread through there. So they said that was from 2003 to 2004. It just happened to be 1 year to figure out how to stop that and contain it, which is still going on. But they don't talk about that. So that actually happened back in 2003 from that virus. They're saying protecting yourself. Well, everybody's saying exactly the same thing. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. I say multiple times out of the day. Cover your cough and sneeze with a tissue, or and then throw it in the garbage, and then cough, chew, whatever. And avoid scratching your eyes, nose, mouth, and with unwashed hands. So you can wash your hands 20 seconds, make sure they're very thoroughly clean. I should probably do a video because people really don't know how to clean their hands. Trust me, I've seen enough where people don't know how to clean their hands. Then you can, scratch your face and stuff like that, but do it probably where it's not so public. And then stay home when you're sick. That's just common. If you're sick, just stay home. And then clean the surfaces that you're frequently touch. So if you're already touching the sink all the time, just make sure it's clean. Make sure you have bleach and stuff. In this, it doesn't say nothing about toilet paper. It doesn't say nothing about hand sanitizer or anything like that, or face mask. So why you're doing extra doesn't make sense. Just going through the other stuff here, make sure I don't forget anything in this series of video. Coronavirus are commonly in different animals. Okay, so they're rarely in an animal with coronavirus can be infected humans. So that's another big thing here. All right, so coronaviruses comes from animals. Like I keep saying, it comes from an animal. I think that's all been established. The problem that we're having is this specific COVID-19 is rare. It's not a regular coronavirus. Is rare, which means that it came from an animal into a human host, and then I think it airborne, it air spread it, as well as by people sneezing and stuff, and that's left on a surface. So you're tripling on how this virus is getting out. The fastest way to get things out, again, is through the air. So if people are sneezing, coughing, touching surface, if it's windy, they're touching stuff outside, and those little droplets can travel. So not only you got these droplets traveling, you're getting it from people to people as well. That's why they said, does animals really get this? I don't remember seeing anything in the computer system that any animal is affected by this coronavirus. Think about that. No animals are affected by the coronavirus because animals already carry viruses. That's why I don't eat cats and dogs. Moving on. So, let me make sure, because there was a lot of good stuff on here. Let's see. How to go about it spreads, which is we already went through. Like I said, the spreading, I think, is airborne. It gotten through, you're talking a matter of days that it went over 100 countries in a matter of days. There's no way that one person is getting sneezed on and going to another person, going to another person. So the first confirmed case was back, they said December 1st. According to the system, it was December 1st, the first case that this actually happened in. Now, does that mean that happened on December 1st? No. They said it takes up to 2 weeks. So now you're talking like November 15th that it technically happened on. Is that true? Probably not. You need to go back further than that. Because when a person is sick, they start to notice they're sick and they think it's a common cold and things like that. So during that time that they're sick, they wait off. Then they consider it 2 weeks from there. Then on December 1st, that's probably when that person actually went in to say, hey, I'm really sick, there's something going on. So he must have been carrying this virus previously. Then it started to get out. And then obviously it got airborne from there and kept moving forward. So if you watch a lot of those movies that have viruses that goes and shoots through the air and all these people get sick and all that, that's where it comes from. But the movie always over exaggerates, so stop buying the crap that you're buying. And the reason why Walmart is getting closed down a lot more earlier than usual if it's a 24-hour Walmart, because you idiots are over buying stuff and people can't get stuff for their regular families. But that's basically some of the most of the outdate that I have. The study comes back from June 25th of 2025. They know that individuals first reported to become ill on December 1st of 2019. And no links has been for no supermarkets for seafood at all. Investigators ongoing how the virus originated and is spreading. No one knows. That's the reason why so much money is coming into the things. Nobody knows how it spread it. They don't even know where it came from. It could be labbed. It could not be labbed. No one really knows. So if you think of it, think about this. Yes, I say that a lot because I really want you to think. $50 billion that is getting invested into the this virus, right? The COVID-19. Wouldn't it have been cheaper if they know that this was coming, use the military, because Donald, you love using the military for your own stuff. Use the military, have a border before the United States. The people who are sick, had them be quarantined offshore at that time for 2 or 3 weeks. Retest them to make sure they're not sick. So even if they didn't have the coronavirus at that state for tested, then we retest them again, then get them into the United States. That would have stopped them. The people at the border, quarantine them and say, hey, if you want to come back to the United States, we'll figure things out, but you need to be quarantined for 2 weeks and then retested again before you even step foot in the United States. That would stop everybody in the United States. In a matter of days, the whole map was completely covered because of the COVID-19. The whole map. So if they would have stopped that, maybe they could have spent $1 billion, $2 billion, maybe $3 billion. But we're spending $50 billion on something. Where are we getting that money from? We're already building a wall that costs billions. I don't even know how much the wall costs. And now we get another $50 billion. Are we just reprinting this money? They could have stopped this. So say for instance, if not the government couldn't stop that, one thing that comes to mind is airborne. It comes over, that people don't remember being around anybody, but you're breathing in his air. Just like, I think they call it, if I'm right, they call it the red ring, okay? So red ring, so why is it called red ring? Kind of, just hear me out. So the sand picks up, when it rains, the sand picks up the color of the rain. That's how colors are made. Goes into the sky. It travels hundreds and maybe 1,000 miles. Then when it starts to rain, when the clouds bust open, it starts to rain, they consider it red rain. No one, if you look that up, no one knows where this red rain come from. They never figured out until years and years and years and years later, they found out it's getting picked up, absorbed, and transferred. So after all these centuries, they found out red rain. They thought it was like some type of spiritual thing that was going on, and all it was science saying that rain evaporated, busted open, poured out red rain. Look it up. I haven't, I read that, many years ago, but it's almost the same thing with this airborne piece here, where it's it is raining or whatever. And we got this weather that we have going on. Did it not just rain recently? And then we got a lot more cases. Where do you think that rain comes from? Look at the direction of the rain. So every time it rains, hear me out. Start thinking about this. Every time it rains, look how many more cases we get right away. Because it's getting picked up and absorbed and transferred and moved. Or if it's really windy, look for rain and windy. When it's cool, you won't see the numbers go down. If it rains, or if it gets windy, it travels, the numbers go back up. Think about that. I just thought about that just now. I just came up with that. You know why? Because your boy is a genius, at least some type of genius. But check that out, okay? So, my advice, just wash your hands with soap and water. If you cough, cover it. That's about it. The coronavirus has been around for decades. This is a new virus that they don't know where it's coming from, so they're scared. So they're not investing $50,000 or $50 billion for you. They're investing $50 billion because they're investigating and with science where it came from. They know where the other viruses come from, all from China, and what animals they come from. They just need to synchronize it because it's the same thing, but a little bit more rare. So that's the reason why people are getting sick. If you already have liver or any kidney problems or any organ problems already, this is a higher chance for you to have more additional problems. They don't tell you that after you're done getting cured and you're healthy again, they don't tell you that you have 20 or 30% more out of what, 1%, one out of every 3 people basically that have more damaged kidneys to start with, to end with than what they started with. Think about that. All right, that's another update on the coronavirus from the information I received. I will probably will make more. I wasn't planning on it, but the more and more research I do, I will let you guys know. So make sure, and that's why you probably see that thing down underneath this video to get more detailed information. But they're only feeding you information that they think you should know. I honestly think that you should know that there's more coronaviruses. This is just one of the worst coronavirus that we have. The other viruses were literally just regular codes. So there's different levels of the coronavirus, so the COVID-19. There's just different levels. How much, and the reason why there's different levels is how much you consume of it. If you consume a lot, yes, it's gonna die. But if you consume just a little bit, just like one of the bubbles, like you might just get like, runny nose, sneeze, or throat hurts or something like that. Just go lay your ass down for 2 weeks and then wake up. Just put yourself in a coma and then wake up, okay? So that's it for now. Watch the last video. I'll leave a thing right up here and probably a couple others before the video. But again, you already know what it is. Z's out. Thanks for listening to my side of the story, because my side of the story is usually the right side. So if anything that you don't think is true that I said, search it. Search the history of coronavirus. When did the coronavirus start up? Start off with coronavirus 1960. You're gonna start doing more research and start digging further. How many coronavirus really was there? How many people death really was there? The news is only giving you a little bit. A little bit. That's the reason why they're not terribly too worried about the coronavirus itself, because it's been around. They're just more curious on the research, so they know, hey, here's $50 billion, this is where we're gonna spend it on. Are they really gonna spend $50 billion on the coronavirus? I personally don't think so. Donald Trump is too smart for that. He's not gonna spend $50 billion on one thing. Donald Trump, you know I'm right. If I die because I'm saying this stuff, you know, because who I've been talking to is the government. But Donald Trump is too smart to spend $50 billion on this. He's a very smart guy. He's not spending $50 billion on research for this coronavirus at all. He's not. They pretty much know where it's coming from. That narrows it down. Give it to somebody who can get it done for $1 million. Give me $500,000. I'll find out exactly where the motherfucker came from, you know, and stuff like that. For $50 billion, I personally think they have something bigger planned that's right underneath our feet. I really think so. I don't think the $50 billion is all going to be spent to this. That's what they're telling you because that's what they want you to hear. I honestly think that the $50 billion was laundry money for a whole new project. Really think about that. Look at how much it costs. I haven't looked it up. I'll try to find out by the next video I make one of these. Find out how much it costs for them to find out what the other coronaviruses cost to make and what they actually did with that money. I think that they're doing something big with that $50 billion. It don't cost $50 billion to figure out something. It's already here. We already narrowed down for pretty much where it came from for the most part. So keep watching. Z's out.